Good day. My name is Martin Krawitz. I'm a shareholder from Sydney, Australia. And thank you so much for some of your wonderful hospitality here. We've had a chance to get on some of Omaha's 65 golf courses, and it's just great being in the second best country in the world. My question to you, sir, is regarding to IPOs. We had one of the authors about a book on yourself visit us in Sydney last year, and apparently you dislike IPOs. My question is, there are some really poor businesses that try and get passed off, but there are some good ones. There's some government privatizations or decentralizations. The demographics of baby boomers, and we have some friends wanting to exit some really good businesses. Could we as investors and Berkshire Hathaway not apply some of your disciplines to look at investing in some of these? And finally, would your answer be different in its applicability to Berkshire Hathaway as a company as opposed to us as investors? Thank you, sir.
Charlie?
Well, the first question, is it entirely possible that you could use our mental models to find good things to buy among IPOs? The answer is sure. There are a zillion IPOs every year, and buried in those IPOs, I'm sure there are a few cinches that a really intelligent person could find and pounce on. So, welcome. But the average person buying IPOs is going to get creamed. So, if you're talented enough, why, sure, that will work. The second question, I forget.
About the government offering, sir, was it?
About government spin-offs?
Give him the spotlight again. There he is.
What was the second question?
It was just, would the attitude of Berkshire Hathaway be different as opposed to investors? Thank you.
Yeah, because the IPOs are normally small enough so that they won't work for us, or they're high-tech where we couldn't understand them. And so, by and large, if Warren is looking at them, I don't know about it.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier how an auction market prevailing in the stock market will offer up extraordinary bargains sometimes, because somebody will sell 0.5% or 1% of a company at a price that may be a quarter of what it's worth, whereas in negotiated deals you don't get that. An IPO situation more closely approximates a negotiated deal. I mean, the seller decides when to come to market in most cases, and they don't pick a time necessarily that's good for you. So I think it's way less likely that in scanning a list of 100 securities that are trading in the auction market, in the 100 IPOs, if you scan 100 IPOs, you're going to come up with something cheaper than scanning 100 companies that are already trading in the auction market. It is more of a negotiated sale, and negotiated transactions are very hard to get bargains. If you take the houses in Omaha, somebody that lives next door to somebody who sold their house for $80,000 and their house is more or less comparable, they're not going to sell it for $50,000. It just doesn't happen. It's too important an asset, and they're cognizant of what it brings, what is being brought for similar properties. That's what happens in negotiated sales. Now, if on the other hand, there was a whole bunch of entities that own 1% of each house in Omaha, and you had an auction market in those 1 percentage points, they might sell it damn near anything, and occasionally they sell at crazy prices. So in my view, you're way more likely to get incredible bargains in an auction market. It's just the nature of things. And the IPO is closer. Sometimes there will be IPOs in terrible markets, and they may come very cheap. But by and large, that is not when IPOs come. They come when the seller thinks that the market is ready for them, and they come with an informed seller thinking it's a pretty good time to go public, and that you'll make better buys, in my view, in an auction market. Number 8.